Welcome to Irish and Chin's YouTube channel. I need y'all to check out our radio platform, soundchatradio.com. Soundchatradio.com is broadcasting to 31 cities worldwide. If it's in the news, we are talking about it right here at soundchatradio.com our way. It's entertainment, it's music, but most of all, it's conversations happening here at soundchatradio.com. Just so you don't miss out, do yourself a favor right now and subscribe, like, and share this channel, right? And don't forget to press that notification button. It's soundchatradio.com 24 hours a day. We spoke about interpreting cassettes, right? And it just popped in my mind like, yo, last week we said we're going to talk about the cassette, man, them.
Mm-hmm. True. I don't know.
And Fat Man was a cassette man too, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So let me put it out there. Fat Man was a cassette man, and even though Fat Man is sitting on the opposite side of the table right now, there was a time when we were opposites because Fat Man was a cassette man, and Chin was a promoter, right? And
before you start, me hear about you, but me never know you. Go on with your talk now.
Fat Man was following company. Fat Man was following company. Fat Man was working with Dan Lou. Dan Lou told him, yo, you see that boy that Chin enemy. And Fat Man just say, yeah, anytime I see that boy, them just bend up my face in a car. The Dan said, them boy, they're hurt. But the fact of the matter was this, man. Back in the earlier days, Fat Man, I didn't see it 100% right that myself and Irish was spending 60 grand, 80 grand, 50 grand, 90 grand, whatever it was, to keep certain events. Mm-hmm. And then cassette men would walk in, right? Most of the time they didn't want to pay. Most of the time they were extremely disrespectful. And they would walk in with the cassette thing under their arms. And then they would walk in, right? Because remember, back in them days, everybody used to Irish and Chin them this, Irish and Chin them that, right? I think that even if they say Irish and Chin, they really mean Chin. Because nobody really cusses Irish, right? I think I've been the most disrespected person in sound clash culture by numerous people. So it wasn't only the sound man them where that cussed me. The fans them are cussed me. Yeah. The cassette man them, everybody was cussing. But when you are at the forefront of change, you're gonna get cussed, right? So when you're changing something from what it normally is, and you're going against the grain, you're gonna get cussed. So I'm looking now because we keeping these dances. Remember, the man them are Brooklyn narrate with because we're not from the Brooklyn circle, but we doing this sound clash thing, and it's working for us. So a lot of them they come into the dances because the dances are big dances, but they're not coming with no respect. Kind of like, yo, come out of my way. Yo, boy, you can't chat to me, and that type of vibe. So it was very, very disrespectful confrontation more time.
I think it's probably just a Brooklyn thing.
It was Bentley was one. Father, I don't even know why you guys call him Father, but Bentley was one. Dan Lou was also one that I can remember, right? So it became this whole big situation where I looked at it and I'm like, yo, these dudes are being really disrespectful. Yeah. Some of them don't want to pay. Even if they pay, they're telling you that you can't stop them from tape the dance. Where they do that at? Like, how is this, how is this? And one of the worst things with me, you can't tell me that I can't stop you. Not when I'm my thing. You know what I mean? I can't stop you. So it became this real tension where I decided like, yo, I'm not working with cassette man. You're now coming at the dance, plug up, eat a food, and then still being disrespectful.
Watching. So hold on. So for us now, talk when everything was good to when tables turned for you.
It was always bad.
It was always bad.
With the cassette man them?
Yeah.
It was always bad.
Okay.
So in the beginning we was doing the dances. This would be late 90s when we started doing the dances then. Right? Because we didn't really know about this whole tape dance for free culture, Eventually we started to see, You know, more disrespect I come in, and you like, yo, that man, I leave and I eat that food. Tomorrow, Church Avenue, Flatbush, Jamaica Avenue, everybody have the dance, right? So looking at this, and at first it wasn't about me making money. It was more about me saying, yo, bro, y'all niggas ain't gonna be disrespecting and still eating the food off of the thing. So what I did now is that I decided that we were gonna lock out the Cassette man. This is the beginning of the Cassette war, right? We're gonna lock out the Cassette man them, and we're just gonna work with who we want to work with, right? So basically, if somebody are gonna eat a food off of me, it's gonna be somebody that we have a mutual respect and understanding for, right? So how we did it was, Redface, at the time we used to call him Cassette Face, right? Was my Cassette man in New York or in America, right? First it was Scrappy, because Scrappy was here living in New Jersey, and then Scrappy relocated to Jamaica. So we would make sure that Redface got the dance first for free. It's not like I was charging Redface, right? Or charging Scrappy, and then una do what una do, eat at least me know some brethren them a eat a food then. That's kind of how it was. The kid it go out there, but una make the money first. So we didn't have any ambition to make money off of the Cassette then, right? So Scrappy doing his thing, Redface doing his thing. Redface becomes the man known in the area that, yo, Irish and Chin keep them dance last night. Face I got have it, bam, 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 bam. So Face I eat a food, right? Mind you, last week I told you guys that Face was the one that was orchestrated me meeting Mighty Crown. Yeah, so that's how tight we were during those days, right? So Face I do him thing. Once he sells the Cassette, of course, the other vultures are gonna get them hands on it and bam, 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 right? It built up a lot of animosity, built up a whole heap of disrespect, right? And then eventually, I started to realize that money was being made. Like a lot of money was being made, right? So I don't know how it worked out with Face, but I know we didn't have any beef about it. I came up with this whole situation that, all right, cool. Since everybody's making money off of the dances then that we invest, so mind you now, this should be compared to you putting out your money and somebody when I help you put out flyers, when I rate you, when I like you, right? Where we run you over if you cross the road by a green light, right? Eating a food off of you, right? So I'm like, yo, you know what? We're gonna get in some of this money. We doing business. So I came up with this whole strategy of burning the CDs in the dance. Because by now, all of the Cassette man that would get locked out to Irish and Chin, they all plotting. All of them are plot. Every single one of them hate us, right? Because we got the big dance. So watch this now. They hate me because of my things. Not because I took something from them. Them hate me because I not share my thing, right? So we got you know, back in those days, it was like CDs, and then we started to understand the CD burning towers and all of that. So what we started to do to kind of be able to make some of our money back from our investment was we would burn the CDs round by round. I'm not sure if Scrappy was helping us at the time or how we came to it, but that was the goal, right? So round one will happen, boom, we throw round one in at the burner, we'll burn it off, right? You can't go right at the gate and get your own one, your own two, your own three. And then at the end of the dance, which is usually the tune for tune, you'd have to just wait after the dance, forget that. Right? So now we were making monies, we were making money that way, right? Now, mind you, what also made me, I'm just sticking this in there, what also made me realize that the man them take with for idiot, because I don't want to use the other word, I went to a dance in Warehouse with Addies versus Love Injection. And I saw Dan Lou walking with my own eyes and tried to plug up, and Babyface took that shit and threw it right in his face. Say, yo, you have a peer. Of course, later on he was plugged in, so I know he paid. just stick a pin. But nobody wants to pay chin. Nobody don't want to pay Irish. We are keep all of the big dance them during this time. So we doing our thing, and we making money now, because I think we selling one CD for $10 or whatever the thing is, and thing a bubble, right? What happens now is that Bentley and Don Lou decides to take their concern, as they described it, to the sound man them, right? Because they pitched to the sound man them that are them responsible for the sound man them career. And if they can't get the audio, then them can't promote the song, right? So they go to people, everybody, but it sticks with Squingy and Mark, right? So Squingy and Mark now, and us, whole heap of tension, because we're doing the clashes, but we're holding on to the audio, right? We're not giving the audio to who they want to give the audio to. So you, on their perspective, I can understand. Them kill a song last night, whatever, and then the audio, a delay or whatever the situation is for them thing go out, right? So Dan Lou and Bentley makes that case to them. We start having peer problems with them. Those were the upfront two individuals at that early time, right? It didn't go too far, because at the time, myself and Keith Walford was still really close, and Keith didn't really, he never get involved with that. But you can see the tension, right? So we're making it work. We're making it work now. I'm also now turning myself into a CD vendor, because I think I have all right. I made the investment, right? And sometimes, believe it or not, dance rum, and we put out 80 grand, and we might make back 60. So we had a 20 grand minus, right? So if we can't hustle the cassette them like everybody else, we can eat the food. It's fair game. It's our investment. But because of this whole hustle culture that Jamaicans have, right? They felt that we were violating their industry. So I was told, like, yo, una promoter, una sell cassette star, una pressure poor people, una this, una that. And I'm still sitting there trying to rationalize with them, like, bruh, it's not your money. You didn't do anything. You're buying blank CDs and you're taping my audio and you're making money, right? Let me in for the thing. Nah, they're not letting you in. Cool. So I start to get the towers and start to invest in my own distribution and all of that, because we're trying to make the extra money. I'll never forget this, right? 1 year we did World Clash Weekend, right? So we did World Clash Weekend, and I'm saying,
2004?
yo, I think it was, I don't remember what year.
When Links went and
So we did World Clash Weekend, and I said, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna package the whole of these CDs, because now I got the whole CD game locked. So we're gonna package these CDs, and then I'm gonna package them, I'm gonna shrink wrap them, and I'm gonna sell them, right? So I don't know if I put $25 on it, $35, whatever the situation was at that time. 25, right? Yeah, you remember, right? So one night I went to, first conversation to be had, right? I had a conversation with Dan Lou. Dan Lou copied or recreated one of my dances called Juggling to Kill, which took place in 2000 with Mataran versus Lynx. The first time Lynx came to America to play on his own. It was in Q Club, right? Lynx defeated Mataran. So he decided that he was gonna keep the rematch. He kept the rematch in Warehouse, and he didn't make back his money, at least not from the gate receipts. At the time, him and I was still in a better place where we at least talked. I knew he was a devil. He never too liked me because he knew what I stood for, but it would be in his best interest, since I was the clash man, to still act as if we were cool, right? So we were having the conversation, and he said to me that he lost so much money, and if it wasn't for him being able to sell his own audio, he wouldn't have broke even. So I'm like, I wonder if him realize when I tell me, say, right? This is true story, right? So I said, right, okay, cool, no worries. Didn't even pull him up on it or nothing. Steely Bashment used to keep, I think it was a Wednesday night.
Wednesday?
In Temptations upstairs, Church Avenue and Flatbush.
Right above Sybil's.
Right above Sybil's, right? And I went there one night with Mighty Crown, right? It was actually the night that Mighty Crown, this LP, which spiraled off into the Mighty Crown versus LP one-on-one dance. I'm standing next to Dan Lou in the dance. We talking, and I'm saying, yo, Dan, I got an idea. If I can give you something for $15, I believe it was, right? Or something like that. I think it was 15, whatever it was, right? If I can give you something that you can make $15 off or $20 off of, right? Just by passing it on, would you take it? He's like, why wouldn't I? Hell yeah. He didn't have a clue of what I was taxing him about, right? But he was just looking, I sold him the profit.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, man, cool. So now I bring the package of World Clash Weekend. Them time that he's on Flatbush, I drive up, yo, Dan Lou, wagwan, chin, bam, bam, bam. Yo, this is what I was talking about. You know what I mean? Give me $15 for this, you can sell it for $25, $30, whatever, you know what I mean? This is what I want. He's like, yo, me can't buy this from you. What do you mean you can't buy it from me? You told me last night that we're, say, yeah, but me never know that this here talk, you mash up my business. How am I mashing up your business, bro? You just told me about the filings and matter on that. I'm trying to recoup my thing too, and you know, he's like, yo, the most me buy off of you is 1 or 2, you know, probably 3, you know. Because, you know, may I be honest with you, from me sell that, me just I go bust it and sell it for myself. See? So I said, nah, Dalu, you good, don't take none. I'm good. I'm good, don't take any. So I leave from there now, and I go to Original Records in Queens. Cause Original them, I'm a brethren, grew up with them. By the time I walk in the store, Dan Lou already called Original. Yo, China gonna do something right now where I gonna fuck up the industry, you know. Don't take none of them from him. So Dan Lou basically called all of the outlets. Right? This is what you don't know, Fata. That's your boy. Right? He called all of the outlets, Fat Man, and told them not to take the pack from me because it gonna fuck up the outcome, you know, their business. Right? But it's my business. It's World Clash. It's World Clash Weekend. It's not your business, it's my business.
Yeah.
Right? So he does that, and I just looked at it and was like, yo, we drawing the line. Bentley was already doing commotion shit, right? You know, telling, I remember one time we were supposed to keep a dance in Brooklyn, and I think it was at the Rock. You know the Rock in Brooklyn, one of those dance. I forgot what it was, but we supposed to keep a dance.
And Elite Talk.
Nah, it wasn't Elite Arc. We're keeping something we were keeping, something. But it ended up getting canceled, right? Because Bentley called the promoter and told not the promoter, called the club and told the club that if we come to Brooklyn with our thing, it's gonna be a shootout. Right? The club man believed him at the time, right? This is stupid. I can't make this up, right? The club man believed him at the time, canceled our thing, right? He also called Irish. If I put Irish on the phone now, he'll tell you the same story. He also called the Irish and Chin's phone number. At the time, it was Irish's phone number, right? And either he left a crazy message or he spoke to Irish like crazy, not identifying himself. And then like a day later, we called back the number and we realized it was him. Right? So basically what they all did was they all teamed up and decided that they're gonna tear apart the whole Irish and Chin branding. Like when we can't come to Brooklyn, come to this, we can't do that because them not eating up. You know how the thing go. You know how it go. Right? Dan Lou, head of it. Bentley, head of it.
Why?
When I tell you it was bananas. It was bananas. Right? And it was just because, Fat Man, we wanted to make some money out of our production. And we wasn't saying to them that, yo, we want to make all the money. I just wanted to package it, right? Pre-price it, right? Leave enough room for everybody to make a $15, $20 off of it. And we would have sold like 5,000 bundles. Everybody would have made their money.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't want me to make any money because in their mind it wasn't our thing. It was their thing. Right? Cool. Things get, kind of crazy, blah, blah, blah. And that's with them. Right? So we done one with them already, but at the time, the clashes are so heavy and Irish and Chin is climbing so much that they basically couldn't stop us. Mm-hmm. Right? And then most of our dances was in Queens, which is not their territory or either. So maybe in Brooklyn, maybe they would have had more rallying of the troops. But in Queens, it was different. Right? So, and it was just coincidence. It wasn't like we were scared to keep the dances in Brooklyn, but Amazura was there. Mm-hmm. Big enough venue, blah, 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 blah. Cool. So I used to do that with the cassettes, with the CDs and stuff. I would go to the record shops.
Yeah.
Drop the CDs at the record shops like Moody's and some other places and stuff, right? But what they would do is they would take the CDs from me, open one, copy it, sell their copies, and then when we go back to collect the money, boy, it's in the cassette, no selling, no CD, now sell it, coming like the people them now, right? Moody's, rest in power. Moody's would just sell it and just don't pay us for them, right? So it would be this back and forth with the whole thing. Cool, put that aside. We then now go to Jamaica, right? And we in yard now. And while we in yard now, we got the debt before dishonor. Mm-hmm. And we reached a level where we had a better agreement or arrangement with the cassette man them in Jamaica. So the cassette man them in Jamaica was a lot more respectful. Gully man and all them man in Mobile, they would come help you get ready for the dance, help you put up the top or whatever you needed to do, they was there. Yeah. So we would all clown around and again, the reason why I took my stance was the disrespect.
You see?
It wasn't that I really needed that money at that time. It's when I started to do it, I realized, that them type of money I don't make. Nah, I need this, right? So I went to Yard. No, Yard is a different situation, earning power and everything. So we and everybody's cool. One year we kept a big ceremony and we were like, we giving away awards and we gave away Cassette Man awards and all of that. Gave everybody plaques and everything. And them time the world clash is climbing. Cool. So with their Yard now, Scrappy's the man. So here comes the fallout with Scrappy that nobody talks about, right? And all of this stuff this is factual. I tell you guys all the time, I don't really need to lie. Not really, I don't need to lie. If I screwed up, I'm gonna tell you, yo, fat man, Sheldon, I messed up, but that's not my intention. It just happened that way, right? But this is the real story that they don't talk about. So we rocking out with Scrappy. We good. 2004 comes. Remember now, Scrappy, there's no red face. So Scrappy is exclusive pretty much. Scrappy and the rest of the sound man, the cassette man, but Scrappy, I deal with them. So Scrappy would have been for them father there. Them would have called Scrappy father Scrappy, right? Whatever, right? So Scrappy's dealing with all of that stuff and bam, 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 right? To some extent, Scrappy was even helping us get like the licensing for certain things, like putting up the boards and stuff, kind of mobile, address on mobile, whatever. However, let's be honest, right? This would be years of us giving Scrappy cassettes to eat our food. So even though Scrappy was helping us, it's not like he didn't earn from what we were doing, right? Cool. So it was understood that Scrappy and the cassette man them could tape World Clash Debt Before Dishonor 2004. However, Puma came on board and it became Debt Before Dishonor.
The sneaker brand.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Debt Before Dishonor, The Road to Athens, right? 2004, right? The Olympic team was going to Athens and Puma contacted me to do a Sound Clash competition for them, right? However, the competition that they asked us to put together would clearly compete with what we were already doing. So we worked it out where we incorporated both situations. So World Clash became the road to Athens, right? Now, Puma came in with stipulations. This is where we had to put on our big boy pants now. This was like the evolution of World Clash in Jamaica, Debt Before Dishonor. Because when Puma realized that we had sound strung up all over the place, they're like, nah, you need a stage. We can't do it like this. You gotta have a stage, and you know, we gotta have something to take back to our people. True. So in comes the stage, the lighting, you know, the sound system. So now there's no more standing up around sounds. So those who would have seen the early World Clashes, you would see Jaro sound there, BSIDC with theme sound, whoever else would fit them sound, right? Puma came and just said no. That's not how they wanted it, right? So now we had to get in John Swaby, who's a big stage person at the time, you know, backdrop and all of that stuff. Boom. So we grew up.
They wanted a specific look.
They wanted a stage look.
Okay.
Right? So we you know, followed them. This is a big thing for us, right? They must spend their money and so forth and so forth. Right, cool. So in the final days of the clash, Puma links me and they say that they need the audio. What do you mean you need the audio? They said, yeah, they need the audio, right? And they don't want us to release the audio.
Oh, yeah?
So we never spoke about it prior. But again, it's Puma. They're spending their money and we on our way to Greece. That year it was in Greece. So they said to me, they need the audio. They want to get the audio, right? They want to hear the audio first on European radio. So they're gonna edit out the curse words or whatever they do for their liking, right? They're gonna hear it, and then once it is aired, we can then release it, right? So naturally, I had to call Scrappy. I'm not gonna say no, right? I had to call Scrappy and say, Scrappy, this is the deal. Puma is taking the audio. What do you mean? Yeah. Puma's taking the audio, but it's not gonna affect your money because they're not releasing it on that level. They're gonna get the audio, they're going to premiere it. I think it was like BBC or One Extra, one of those things they had a contract with, right? They're gonna premiere World Clash, which is big for Debt Before Dishonor World Clash.
That's big for the brand.
Right? And then we get the permission to release it so you'll still have it first. He said, nah, can't work. So I said, what do you mean it can't work? Him said, can't work. Then he says to me, yo, you come down there the other day and you get it, the cassette man, them plaque and this and that. I sell out business I go on. I sell out the thing to white people. Right? Real talk. We got into a back and forth and it was like, yo, Scrappy, long story short, this is what I got to do. Right? This is where we're going with it now. This is what I got to do. I'm basically telling you that you still getting this audio first before anybody touches it. But you cannot get it right after the dance. Ima said, boy, the day after the dance, I with the more sales and Ray. Basically not even hearing what I'm trying to say to him.
And
right?
now see a bigger picture.
So cool. Me leave it at that. No problem. Remember, you know, we are Scrappy like this. I tell you sometimes, you know, Scrappy would get certain permits and whatever for us and bam. So Debt Before Dishonor happens and Scrappy doesn't come. He just doesn't show up at the venue. He just does not come. So I turned to Irish and I said to him, yo, I don't need to talk to Scrappy no more. I'm good. Because based on the conversation I had with Scrappy, a blind man could see the opportunity that was in front of us. And the fact that you did not come to support the event shows me that the only reason why you're rocking with us is based on what you can get. And tonight you can't get what you want, so you're not here. So there was no argument with Scrappy. There was no beef. I just stopped talking to him. I never called him back and said, Scrappy, why you never come? Nothing. It just wasn't valuable to me anymore. Because it sent me a message like, oh, word, Scrappy? So the dance kept, Panther won, Puma got their audio, and all of us went to Athens.
So it was a world clash in Athens?
No, we did a stage show in Athens.
Oh.
So it was great because not only, even though we went with the Olympic team, right, I was able to also get another job. And that job was to put together a stage show on a beach for the Olympic team. Oh. So you're talking about like young Usain Bolt, them time they Usain Bolt, I look a youth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we all there, Buju was there, Shaka Demus and Pliers, Young Assassin was there, Barrington Levy, that type of vibe, right? But they all flew in, we all had to have on the Puma gear, and it was good for my resume, and it propelled the brand. So the following year in 2005 now, we were forced to go stage. We couldn't go back on the dirt again.
You couldn't do that again.
Right?
True.
So that's how Debt Before Dishonor transformed from where it was to where it what it became. It became a stage show. But it was because of the involvement of Puma that year that forced us to do it. Remember, they might pay for the stage,
So-
they might do this, them. So to us, it's like, well, if this don't work.
So Chin, how you and UK Cup Clash met the connection?
Oh, me and UK Cup Clash was always connected.
Oh.
Me and UK Cup Clash was always connected. That's self-explainable. Valerie is Irish and gin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that was always, that was always a connection. And there's never been a problem with UK Cup Clash at all.
Because the reason why I'm asking about UK Cup Clash connection is because the way both of them is presented, it's presented on the level they have stage show.
Right.
So that's why we are.
But it all started from Puma. This is what I'm trying to say. All of these events would have been in our circle.
Yeah.
So in the circle would have been UK Cup Clash, World Clash, Debt Before Dishonor. Right? Remember, in America, we don't really do the sound system on floor thing, blah, blah, blah. So Amazura has a stage. It was a stage show there. But we never saw, any reason to make it a stage show in Jamaica until they did that. They spent their money. We realized that it worked. We also realized that it was affordable. It could be profitable as it grows. So we kept it going. And just as we suspected, it worked, right? UK Cup Clash would have spiraled off of that and also used why change the formula? The formula is working.
True.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's what the beef was with me and a lot of these people. They don't like to talk, Half of the people who said Chin is this and Chin is that, right? Most of them never had a one-on-one conversation with me for tell them about themselves or them for tell me about themselves. It's somebody else them are par with, and that person say, oh, the boy Chin is such and such, and them just buy it out. Remember, at that time, we are the ones who have the power to boss you or not boss you. You're gonna create enemies if you have that power.
True.
We at the gate. We could either put you on the stage or not put you on the stage. We can't put everybody on the stage. A lot of the man them didn't want to go on the stage, but they wanted to disrespect and go up on the stage.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know we stay as yard man. So we basically like, nah. Nobody is expecting you on the stage, therefore we can get away with not putting you on the stage, so this is gonna happen without you. And that's basically what it was. So the beef with Don Lou was an illusion. That's Don Lou's fault. That's not my fault. The beef with Bentley then was bad mine. Scrappy, who I thought was a brethren, in the last run, him basically showed me that he's there for the opportunity. Because if this is my highest moment in Sound Clash, going to Athens, sponsored by a major, and you don't show up because you got feelings that we ain't giving you the audio, that's a problem.
No, man, I'm foolishness.
I think we need to have a confrontation show and try to get who out of those names for come on and talk.
Oh, they'll lie. I would love to do that. They will lie.
I think that would be a
and what it
great
probably
debate.
would turn into, hey boy, your mother this and your mother that, because they cannot talk to me just level like this. They're gonna have to do insulting and cussing and this and that, so the argument, the conversation, broke up.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking civilized, they can't win. There's no winning. This is like you buying a house and a man just walk in and cock up him foot for your furniture and I watch the TV and you don't know him. And then I tell you they don't business. So what, you bought this house? I feel like I need to watch TV and all. So basically, we were coming into the industry looking at different ways to make money because we were spending the most money in the industry at the time as promoters. Sound Systems was charging us top dollars, right? The overheads were large because the more we succeed at a clash, is the more the next price gets higher. So if we kept a clash tonight and the dance ram, right? And Sheldon did well. Sheldon no will, but Sheldon did well. He didn't win, right? But he did good enough to leave an impression. The next time me call Sheldon for a dance, the only thing in his mind is I must already ram. More and more money.
Yeah.
Right? So it just kept escalating. But for me, I don't know about Irish because eventually Irish couldn't take it no more. I'm be honest with you. Like Irish couldn't, everybody asks is where's Irish, right? Irish basically dropped out because he couldn't take the disrespect. He just decided that, I'm not spending my money and getting disrespected. I can 100% tell you, bro, right? And I see King of All Roots saying there's three sides to a story, and I get it because he's a Brooklyn man, right? And most of the man them where King of All Roots champions is the man that were full of shit. He just don't know they are. Right? Because when you look at the industry for what it is, you become a fanatic of that person, but you don't understand that person's behavior. There was a problem with us because we were young promoters from two of the most underrated parts of New York, Queens and Long Island, who in their mind contributed nothing to Sound Clash, but we are now calling the shots. We are now telling people that they can play for 10 minutes and become a world champion. When them man, they set it where you have to play hour, 45 minutes, half an hour. I understand their pain, but it wasn't our problem. So it created this whole animosity with, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
With everybody. It wasn't that we were being disrespectful. It wasn't that we were acting like we were better than people. Nah, they made it look like that. The issue was that none of them had respect for what we were doing, but when it started to get big, they wanted to be part of what we were doing. But because of their egos, in order for them to be part, they had to come with the attitude and the disrespect. Because it can't be like, yo, you side with chin them now, brother. That's what it was all about. So Irish was like, nah, this is it, I'm not doing it. He always was complaining about it, but after a while, I'm like, nah, man. Me, no. I'm like, I think I'm immune to all of them mother this and father this and Ray. I'm good off of this. There's no way I'm going to put in so much Irish and stop now. I got to get to that finish line, bro. So I get it. I understand you. I feel your pain. But all of this disrespect is bouncing off of me because I know one day I'm going to sit in the seat that's going to be dissing all of y'all. And that's what it was.
See, alright, one of the thing is, that's why I always say, me don't understand why them always are this chin, because chin get no the amount of this you get in a dub plate for a stage everywhere. You remember me all a listen to UK Cup Clash and chin still I get this.
We became the most powerful promoters in Sound Clash culture, right? On top of that, we had a sound system that was winning clashes, right? That people didn't want in the industry. Because don't get it twisted. People are saying Mighty Crown now and Mighty, them never want Crown. They wanted to do away with Crown. They didn't rate Crown.
Yeah.
Crown is one of the sound systems that came up in the industry and had to fight. And a lot of their pressure was because they were affiliated with me. And everybody hated me, right? And a lot of my pressure is because I was affiliated with Crown and they hated Crown.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those situations. So when you hear a lot of the sound man them now talking about, you know, what Crown do for the business and Crown, it's all yap. Because when they had a time to embrace Crown, they wouldn't embrace Crown. You know, see what Trooper was doing, this what? When we celebrated the 10th anniversary World Clash at Sumfest, right?
Yeah.
And some of the things that you heard him say. You know, you hear Mataran come on and was saying, and no disrespect to them, but, you know, truth is truth, right? What they were saying about, you know, Japanese people and white people coming in and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So because a lot of these brethrens weren't able to achieve what the other people achieved, because the other people set their business structure as well as their talents in order, right? They turned it into a black and white. But it was never black and white. Trooper was our boy. Mighty Crown rate Trooper just like them rate Chin. Chin rate Trooper like him rate Mighty Crown. Mataran, everybody. We were all cool. It was when people started to see the excelling. Chin is excelling as a promoter. Mighty Crown excel, right? Yo, if we don't mash up this right now, we can't stop them. Because Chin keep the dance them. And the Japanese, you know, I deliver the dub them. That's all it was about. It wasn't about nothing else. Yeah. So they used their influence as top people in the industry to create a narrative that Chin a thief, you know, Irish them a thief, Mighty Crown, them set up dance for Mighty Crown, but none of it is true.
I think a lot of the negativity I started to hear about the Irish and Chin brand is that them come to mash up the business with all them bag of rules. It was the rules thing mainly I hear a lot of people was burning out at the time.
Listen.
But I thought it brought different dynamics. Some rules I didn't like, but whatever.
They're all punks. You know why I say that? One year that Bounty Killer hosted World Clash.
Yeah, that was controversial.
And there was a no cursing round or something like that.
Yeah.
And Squingy decided that he was gonna go backstage and him now play. And then Panther came with the same thing. And they both was giving me a hard time because again, that's what the thing was, giving Chin a hard time. Taking Chin's money and giving Chin a hard time. Bounty Killer walked back there and said, yo, the rule is no cursing and no man can curse. The two of them put them head down and say, yeah man, and walked out on the stage to go play. Real talk. Real talk. Killer just told them this is what it is.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna happen and y'all gonna do it. And they did it. Nobody never said, but kill, sound clash or mash up. Yeah. They didn't do it.
Sure, Killer.
Yo, we gotta go, people. I hope you guys enjoy my stories as much as I enjoy telling them. But guess what? It's all factual, right? I will sit down in front of anybody's name that I'm calling and say exactly what I'm saying to you guys now. That's how confident I am that what I'm saying happened right in the way that I'm saying happened. Not different, not derailing, no exaggeration, nothing.
It's well true.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
people have just been, come on, nobody would think that Chin would be able to have a radio platform 20 years later where he can talk the truth.
Well, honestly, just for conversation's sake, I still would like to hear both sides of the story.
Yeah, man, get them to come on.
So if we can find some of the
Call
people,
your Uncle Dan Lou and tell him to come on.
I'll see if I can get him on
get
next
him.
week.
Say Punk Chin want you upon him platform.
All right.
Thank you for watching another episode of Soundchat Radio on Irish and Chin's YouTube channel. If you like what you saw, please subscribe by hitting the red button. If the button is still red, that means you did not subscribe. Also, like and share. And don't forget to leave a comment. In fact, press that notification button while you're at it.